All right, guys. Are you guys ready to do a podcast?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're clean on this, so.
Tone would love to have me, but
Are we allowed to? Are we allowed to give a show?
Whoa!
you know what? And I'm gonna
You
double
suck.
down. You would love to have me too, Ball.
Hey, yo, James, don't call him directly. He might cut you out. Call me first, and I'll train you.
Do you smell what the book is cooking?
Yeah, what I like to say is movement fails opportunity when opportunity fails to move.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow, what a basketball game that was. We got a lot to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Gumball Sports Machine. This is the show where we love, we laugh, we hug, we cry, we smile, and most importantly, we are positive, just like that basketball game today. Again, the boys I'm rooting for didn't win, but it was still a great basketball game at the end of the day. And as always, I am not alone. I got my OG, my dog, my unk, my co-host, OG Tone in the building. Tone, what's cracking? How you feeling, brother?
More. Another day, another dime. How you cool?
Hey. Oh, living the dream, man. Living the dream. Yeah, cannot complain. At least not about this game. I can complain about the Suns. Not about this game though.
Not yet, man. They ain't even did nothing yet. Let them make the moves, man. Let them make the moves. Don't go start complaining.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly why I could talk because they haven't done anything yet, Tony. They've hired a GM and just
the season's not even over yet.
All right, I'm sorry. See, you get me fired up. So see what you did? See what you did? Oh man, Tony, we got to talk about this game. The Indiana Pacers. Barely by the skin of their teeth slip away with a win in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals over the New York Knicks. 138-135 in overtime. Aaron Nesmith is apparently the second coming of Steph Curry. Tyrese Halliburton had 31 and made the game-tying shot to go into overtime. And like I said, Aaron Nesmith, 8 and 9 from 3, 19 points in the fourth quarter. He was fantastic, played some very good defense. On the other side of the ball, your two stars, they were great. 43 from Jalen Brunson, 35 from Karl Anthony Towns. You got to get a stop. Got to get a stop at the end. I mean, this to me, Tone, this was just an absolutely unacceptable loss from the Knicks. This was absolutely unacceptable. You can't go lose a game when you're up by 14 with 2 minutes remaining in the basketball game. Not just in the middle, halfway through the fourth quarter. 2 minutes remaining in the basketball game, and you go and lose it. This is Tone. To me, this is unacceptable. This one I know has got to hurt for Knicks fans.
Got to, man. It's unacceptable, honestly, especially with the way Jalen Brunson played. I know he was in foul trouble, but he really did everything that he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he shot well. And even though they were picking on him on the defensive side, I think he played pretty good defense. Like he played exceptional defense. But I will say it was odd to me, if I heard correctly, that the Indiana Pacers outscored the Knicks while Jalen Brunson was on the court. So the Knicks played better with McBride in the game, although Jalen Brunson had 40 plus. It's odd. it's got to be discouraging because again, they actually played well. The person that I will say didn't show up today is your boy. And they needed him.
Yeah.
You know, OG, I do look for him to score, but it's more defensively. And I mean, he didn't really show up either. Defensively, I didn't like he didn't get big stops. I didn't see any of those. But for me, Mikal Bridges had a couple middies that he usually makes that he just missed today. Which I mean, it's it's just 7 games, so he has plenty of time to improve. But yeah, it's got to be disheartening, man. Because I definitely think that the Indiana Pacers can play better.
That's the worrisome part, right? So, I mean, that's because they didn't play their best game. They were down pretty much this entire game. I mean, there was a stretch in which in the second quarter, Jalen Brunson went out of the game, and they think it was like a 3-point game. When he came back in the game, it was 7. They were up by 7. Like they increased the lead with him out. And so today he was a -8 in terms of plus minus. Like you said, Jalen Brunson did his part. He had 43 points. He had some big buckets down the stretch in the fourth quarter and overtime. They just couldn't get a stop. Tony, this is what I don't understand. When you are guarding the inbound, first of all, there was nobody on the inbound man in overtime. There was nobody on the inbound man when Obi Toppin got that dunk. There was nobody on the inbound man. He passes the ball in, immediately cuts to the basket and gets a dunk. And it should have been an and one.
Yeah, it definitely should have been an and one.
And it's a wide open dunk. I mean, this is unacceptable. If you are a team that wants to win the championship, this cannot happen. Karl-Anthony Towns, fantastic tonight. I don't have enough great things to say about Karl-Anthony Towns, Stone. He was fantastic. Miles Turner being the defensive big that he is, and for Cat to have a game like that, he just needs to do it consistently.
I think there was a couple plays where he actually deserved and ones also, but it's the flow of the game. The refs are going to miss calls, but like you said, he played a fantastic game as well. Both of the stars really showed up today. It's to me the star as Pascal Siakam. I really feel like he could have played better. Miles Turner had a pretty good first half. Second half, not so good. But it was Nesmith that definitely had a fantastic end of the fourth, got them back into that game, and then
5 straight threes.
Yeah,
5.
I gotta credit Halliburton though, man. Like he is a magician. He is what old school, what we consider as an old school traditional point guard. He's a pass first. He's making sure that his teammates get into the flow of the game, get their rhythm before he even considers doing it for himself, and it's dope to see. He keeps his turnovers down. He's got a lot of energy, man. It's gonna be a great series, though, man. Him and Brunson. It's not a lot of defense. It's not a lot of defense being played.
And Tone, that was one of the things we talked about in Monday's show. Like this is going to be a high-scoring, fast-paced basketball game. And Tone, like I said it on Monday. If this game is in the half court, the Knicks will run away with this series. But if the Pacers get out and run and turn the Knicks over and get out and run, now I don't know the exact numbers. I don't think the Knicks turned the ball over a whole lot today. Yeah, they only had 15 turnovers, but the Pacers only had 7.
Mm-hmm.
They only had 7, and so you got it.
That pick and pop. That pick and pop was crazy with Hallie and Miles Turner, and it's just it was allowing them to still have space to create something else if he wasn't going to shoot the midi, because Cat kept falling back, and Robinson was doing the same thing. They're falling off of whoever the center was or the power forward that they were guarding, and I don't know, like I did pick Indiana in 6, so I'm happy with my pick. I think that I've seen some of this happening, but again, I still think that there's 2 individuals on the Knicks that can play better, but I also feel like the Pacers can play better. So we'll see.
But the thing I will give like the Knicks fans hope is that you can count again. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tone. You can't count Aaron Nesmith to go 8 and 9 from 3 every game of the series, and to go and down the stretch. But again, it's like a game like this for them to steal this game is absolutely ridiculous.
The difference is that they're gonna go home the game after next, and they're gonna get some of the foul calls that Brunson got tonight and Cat got tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's just how the playoffs go. But it's why when you get home court advantage, you like, okay, we're gonna get certain calls when we at the crib. And don't get me wrong, Jalen Brunson played a hell of a game, but there were some fouls. I was like, man, he just looked like he fell, like he just ran into him and fell, and they gave him the call. But it's smart, smart to do if you know the refs are calling it at that point. You got to play chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? If you know they're making those calls.
That sounds like somebody we're going to talk about here in a little bit who won an award today. We're going to talk about that. Of course, D'Lo. Obviously you see him in the intro and he's on the show all the time. He's not able to make it today, but he said 15 turnovers. Listen, when you talk about compared to what some of these teams, like Minnesota turned the ball like 25 times over the other day. Like when you look at some of these teams that are turning the ball over 20 plus times, 15 isn't awful, especially the way that the Pacers turn teams over. That's not awful. And so a game like this in which you're up by 14 points with 2 minutes remaining, you have to go win. This game was absolutely unacceptable. And to your point about Mikal Bridges, Tone, I mean, if you look at the stat sheet, the stats say, 8 of 16, he's had 16 points, but he had the worst plus minus of anybody in the starting lineup.
He plays better than that.
Absolutely. He can and he needs to. He needs to play better than that in order for the Knicks to win this series, and even to have a chance.
It's a tougher matchup for him because Naismith plays more like Jaylen Brown, less Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna create the physical, the bump, boom, and Mikal Bridges is trying to create the space and play length and spaces like that. But I think he'll play better. I think he'll play better.
Yeah, I agree. I think he has to. You know what I mean? I think he has to. And that's what I'm glad D'Lo brought this up because the boy Tyrese Halliburton, the first chance he got, he pulled it out. Right? He pulled that meme. He pulled the choking meme out. First chance he got.
Damn, hold on, man. It's getting hot in here. Hold on a second.
I hope. What is he taking out?
What'd you say? Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh no! Hallie! Let's go! The Indiana Celtics get one. Let's go! Hold on.
Are you having fun?
Let's get back to business. My apologies. My apologies for backing like a clown.
I don't accept your apology. I don't accept it. You can keep your apologies.
My apologies, everyone.
Yeah. Did you enjoy yourself?
Though, man. Shout out to what the hell?
I will say he was also really good in this game. He was fantastic in this game. He was really good. All right, Tom.
It's gonna be a great series, man. It's gonna be a great series.
Yeah. I am absolutely looking forward to the rest of the series, Tone. I couldn't agree more. This is gonna be a fun series to watch. It's old school.
Hey, one thing. Watch how Cat shoot when he gets bumped and he's going in the paint. Watch how he shoots. It's like this. He ain't even got. He's like this. Off glass.
A push shot. Yep.
One hand, though. One hand, he got control. I'm like, okay, Cat.
It's impressive. Like
the third or fourth time I've seen him do that.
Oh, absolutely. Cat, I 100% believe is the most skilled center in the NBA. Most skilled offensively.
I told you, he reminds me of Jokic. He's not Jokic. No, don't get me wrong. No. But he reminds me of Jokic. He just don't got the gur in him. He need a little more gur, but
yeah. Well, he's growing up, I was told it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So he's got a little gur in it. He just says it a little differently.
He got an I and an L at the end.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Okay, okay.
My bad.
All right,
I
D'Lo,
was
you
being
might be
so
right.
disrespectful.
D'Lo might be right. I forgot, but healthy. I mean, the people that are healthy right now. Embiid, yes, is the most skilled center in the NBA. I believe could be the best center in the NBA when he's healthy.
Could be the best player in the NBA when healthy.
Couldn't agree more. Oh man, and man, that
Shout out
Sixers
to the
team.
Sixers, man.
That Sixers team is screwed. Oh my god, I thought they're trying to get off Paul George.
Yeah, we about to be in June, man. Shout out to the Sixers, man. We ain't seen y'all in a while.
See, there you go. It's been the same amount of time they saw. See, there you go. It's all right. I know you didn't mean it, but I took it as a direct shot at my team.
You want to talk about the last night's game?
We absolutely are going to talk about last night's game. Last night, game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. Now, it was close until it was not close. Oklahoma City Thunder won 114-88 in Oklahoma City Thunder. SGA was very, very good. He had 31 points. Didn't shoot amazing from the field. He was shot 11 of 14 from the free throw line, Tone, and I'm sure that's something we're going to talk about. But he was also a plus 22 on the floor. Plus 22. That is the highest of any Thunder player on the floor. And of course, he had 31 points, 9 assists, 3 steals as well, five boards. Anthony Edwards did get nicked up in the first quarter, or in the first half, I know for sure. I believe it was at the end of the first quarter going into the second quarter. He got nicked up a little bit, fell down, rolled his ankle, went to the locker room. Never really looked the same, Tone. Never really looked the same once he came back. He only had 18 points, 5 of 13 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. Julius Randle was fantastic in the first half, a little quiet in the second half. But this, like, you just saw, like, the biggest thing from Minnesota that they did not get in game 1 that they've gotten throughout the whole playoffs was the bench contributions. I mean, when you look at their first 3 guys off the bench, Nasri, Dante DiVincenzo, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker, SGA's cousin, by the way. Combined, this team was 7 for 36 from the field. Those 3 guys off the bench combined were a 7 and 36 from the field, and combined from 3, they were 5 of 28. 5 of 28 from the field. Tony, what were your takeaways from this game? Obviously, this game was close in the first half, and OKC absolutely just went berserk in the third quarter. Jalen Williams had 9 points. SGA had 11 points in the third quarter. What'd you see from this game, and what'd you see from these two teams?
Genuinely, my first takeaway is someone is going to check SGA's cousin's phone to see how much he paid him to play that bad. But no, I think that SGA is just a great leader, man. I will say my biggest take is that Ant-Man was hindered. I don't think that game the game's outcome would have been the same if Ant-Man was 100%. He did, like you said, he did not look like the same player that he has all season right after that. Like it seemed like he knew, all right, I got to give them this game so I can go get my rest. But he seemed like he thought that he had to be out there in order for them to still have a chance. You had to be on the court because he's still gonna create opportunity for other people. They're still gonna double team him. He's gonna maybe even just make a couple of shots. Who knows? But I hope that he gets healthy, or else the series is honestly over. Because every win that they get, I'd say he's got to be the biggest contributor. Julius Randle's going to win them a couple games, but man, I picked him for Western Conference MVP for a reason, and without him, I don't know. But I love the way that SGA led, especially in the second half, because the entire team struggled at points. They played pretty good defense, but offensively they were missing shots that they usually make, and then they made them in the second half, and that's why they took away the game. But yeah, I love the way SGA leads that team. I love the way that coach plays 8, 9 players, sometimes 10. Um, they're gonna be scary if they make it to the finals.
Yeah, Tone, if I wouldn't if I didn't know my basketball, I would have thought the Minnesota Celtics were out there playing basketball. They shot 15 of 51 from 3. They shot 51 3-pointers and made 15. And OKC, the team that who also likes to shoot the 3 ball, 10 to 20. I'm sorry, 11 to 21. 11 to 21 from 3. I mean, when you look at these two teams, man, I first of all, the Thunder are just so like they're so much deeper, right? When you look down their bench, you have guys like Alex Caruso and Isaiah Joe and Cason Wallace, who played some fantastic defense last night. You can go like there's so many guys on this bench. I mean, Cason Wallace played 33 minutes last night. That was more than Lou Dort. That was more than Chet. That was more than Isaiah Hartenstein. Like Cason Wallace is one of those guys who can make an impact. Kenrich Williams, he only played 10 minutes, but he came in, he knocked down a couple threes immediately, knocked down a jump shot. He came in and immediately had an impact, and he also played some really good defense. Like, this is a team that can kill you from like when you talk about when that saying that there's more than one way to skin a cat. They skinned the Timberwolves any way they wanted to yesterday. Any way they wanted to. And they didn't need to make a whole bunch of threes. They didn't need to shoot a whole bunch of threes. They played defense. They held the Timberwolves to 88 points. Now, Julius Randle got whatever he wanted in that first half. He shot from the logo and pulled it and ripped the cords. And he got whatever he pleased in that first half. Second half, much more quiet. Was he out there playing, Tony? I don't know. It was really quiet. And so but to your point you made about the Pacers, like, I don't think the Timberwolves bench is going to play that badly again. I mean, I think it took Naz Reid like 9 shots to make his first. And he was awful. Dante DiVincenzo couldn't throw it in the ocean from a boat. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, the same thing. And okay. I think we have to talk about this, Tony. This SGA free throw merchant thing.
Before we get there, I want to make a point that you made a great point on the last pod. Minnesota is known for having turnovers, and this is not a good look, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to play better with the basketball. They're going to turn the ball over anyways. But in certain points in the game, like, they just make horrible decisions with it. And OKC is going to get buckets. They get out and go. SGA finds the right person on the break, or he's going to 1-2 slow you down. And he's like, it's just.
Yep. They had 17 last night.
Great point. Yeah, it's a great point you made.
They had 17 and 9 from your 2 best players. Jets, that's one thing about Julius Randle. Tony, he can put the ball in the basket at a very high level. But goodness gracious, some of the thing I'm taking your saying, the goodness gracious, he can do some dumb stuff with the basketball. I mean, there was some turnovers last night, Tony. I'm like, who did you see that was open? I mean, who were you passing it? Did you intentionally pass it to Alex Caruso? Like, what? Like, he does some dumb things with the basketball. And to your point about Ant, if he's not healthy, this series is over. If he's not healthy, this series is over. OVA. And so, in order for them to even have a chance, he has to play like if he plays like Anthony Edwards, the series is over.
Yeah,
he has to play like Ant-Man. Every time.
Give him a shot.
Got to give him the shot. Right in the butt. Wow. I'm just saying that's what they. I ain't got to say. I didn't say it has to be like. Okay. On his butt cheek. I'll specify. Right in the butt cheek. Yeah.
Shoot that man like a T-Rex in Jurassic Park from across the court. Get him. Whatever he needs, man. He needs 40. We need 40, Ant.
In order for them to even have a chance. Wow. I did. You know what? Now that I did Like now that I've thought about it and it happened, I did do that. So
It's a wild world, America. It's a wild world.
this is why we love this show, Unc. This is why we love this show, because you get the unexpected. And me slapping my behind is something I didn't expect to do today. It wasn't on my bingo card, but when you
Man,
said get him a shot, I wanted to let everybody know where he would most likely get that shot.
Man, did the yeehaw cowboy joint on himself.
Just saying, when you gotta sometimes you gotta shake what your mama gave you.
Ain't that a song out right now?
Who?
I don't know. I'm old. Let's talk about my guy, man. Let's talk about, because I feel like somebody might owe me some push-ups or something, man. Because I picked this guy to win the award. I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of that Oklahoma City Thunder team, their best player, their guy, the second best player in the league, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was awarded with the MVP award.
Let's go, SGA. Let's go.
Okay, you know, I don't want to say like I'm salty that he won it, right? I don't think he did not.
Sounding you look a little salty, if I'm being honest.
See, there you go. See, there
I'm
you
just
go.
being honest.
You know, just putting this little salt in the water never hurts anybody. But little salt in the wound.
I was gonna say salt in the water is crazy.
Yeah, SGA did win the MVP today. Obviously this was a 2-horse race, Tone. This was between SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Nikola Jokic, and SGA did end up with the award. We've gone back and forth for the past few months about who we think should win it, who do we think would win it. And you came away with it, man. He came away with the MVP. Well deserved. I'm absolutely not saying that he didn't deserve it or earn it. I just think somebody else earned it a little bit more from the historically good season that he had, but we will talk about that here soon, here in a few minutes. But Tone, would you think your guy win an MVP, man? Obviously it's said so. It was like I said, it was between him and Jokic, and he did end up walking home with the award.
Yeah, personally, I think it was deserved. Just due because of last year. I feel like they found a way to mess that up, as the NBA does from time to time. I will say that I agree. I think Jokic had a phenomenal season. And honestly, it was probably a slight to him to not get the MVP, because he played better than he did last year, which was an MVP season.
Yeah. He literally won the MVP last year.
Yeah. But again, SGA had a phenomenal year. His team was in first place. It was odd that they waited so. I feel like they waited longer than they usually do to come out with the announcement. And it happened right after he actually won the series, which was just odd to me. But yeah, it was a great to see the young star with the aura, man. And it's interesting because he's another foreign NBA star winning MVP, and you just wonder when we're gonna get an American who tries to take over. But I do think he brings an aura to the NBA that's much needed. It's like that old AI swag, that Jason Williams, the white chocolate swag. Of course, MJ had his own swag with the gold chains on and stuff like that. I also think SGA got the dopest sneakers out right now. So that's another thing, which is crazy to say because he's on Converse, but that's how I feel. I feel like SGA got the kicks out. A lot of dudes' kicks is kind of whack or looking Kobe-ish if you on Nike. But yeah, it's dope for him to be building his own brand, doing different things, and then the MVP is just going to add more to his legacy.
Yeah, I don't want to say I don't disagree with SGA winning the MVP, because I do. Like I really do. But I also will say that I believe he should have won it last year. I believe SGA should have won it last year because, I mean, when you look at Nikola Jokic, I mean, you talk about guys who have averaged a triple double. You talk about Russell Westbrook. You talk about Big O Oscar Robinson. This might be the most impressive triple double of them all. I mean, you averaged, 29.6 points a game, 12.7, 29.6, again, being a career high for Jokic. 12.7, second most in his career he's ever averaged. 10 assists per game, which is also a career high. 57% from the field, 41% from three, which is top 5 in the league. 80% from the line. And I just, when you look at
And I
him
think his
now,
usage was up too.
and yeah, his usage rate, like they didn't, like Jamal Murray was not good in the regular season. Yeah, he had a few games. He was not good. And so when you look at the when you look at the load he had to carry, and when you look at how much he had to do, that team didn't go unless Jokic went, Tone. That team, there was nothing without Nikola Jokic, and you saw SGA and that team be successful without SGA whenever he did not play. And so I just, again, I'm not upset that SGA won it. I personally, I would have voted for Nikola Jokic. But SGA did have a phenomenal season. When you look at it, I mean, he led the league in points scored, or excuse me, not points scored, points per game. When he led the league in, his team was the best team in the league. He had what was a streak, Tone? 40 or 50 straight 20 plus point games. SGA had a phenomenal year. He absolutely deserved to win
30-point games in 3 quarters or something like that.
That's that is a ridiculous stat, Tony. Like, I just, he's good. He is not only good, he's great. And so when you look at it, when you look at him and where you see his team is at now, it's shown how important he is to that team. And so again, I'm not exactly upset that he won. I just think Jokic should have won it. But yeah, SGA, he's impressive to watch, man. When you look at him, like he gets you buckets when you need him. He does everything you need him to do. So yeah, SGA, and he's doing it again in the playoffs right now. Game 1, he was really, really good. People were talking about him getting to the line, free throw merchant, this and that, but it's not like he makes the calls. He doesn't call fouls for himself. This isn't pickup. He doesn't call fouls for himself. And so we've seen this before, though, Tony. We've seen this before. James Harden got the same criticism. Oh, he's a free throw merchant. Oh, this guy shoots such and such free throws a game. Oh, the referees give him all these calls. Oh, he's paying off the referee. This is not something we've never seen before, Tony. And so the reaction that it's getting, I think, is a little unjust. I don't think it's deserved.
I know you're gonna hate this, but it's a quote from this scholar I think I've seen on TV. His name is Joe Mazzulla.
Here we go.
And he said that hate is earned, not given. And so he is deserving of it because he's
You're
earned it.
lucky. You're lucky. That's a good saying. I might have to write that down. You're lucky. That was good.
He earned, like, he's played so well that now people are hating on him, and it's that because if they're not hating on you, you're not doing it. You're not doing it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a big enough name, and so it's. I think it's a sign of respect. You know, I mean, of course, the refs are respecting his game. He's a big enough star to where they like, oh yeah, we're not trying to see him get hurt. Make that call, make that call. But it's similar to Jalen Brunson, and although there are instances where they're quote unquote foul baiting, those dudes got lethal footwork, like lethal footwork. And that's what creates those opportunities, because there's so many times where they get buckets to when now you're trying to stop them, and you try to get in front of that next move, or you try to stop them from going, and now you're fouling. But their footwork is crazy, and I agree with what Lo said. He does. he's a little more patient. To me, it's a mix of Kobe and Paul Pierce. Like it's literally to me, or I don't know. Some people would say like a Manu Ginobili. Like it's a slow hesitation, 1-2 gather for him, and it's incredible. And the way he changes speed because it's it's almost like Luka to where it's paceful, but then he just takes off and he darts and you can't stop him, and he can go right to left. He's nice, man. SGA, if he remains healthy, it's gonna. I feel like the race is gonna be between him, Jokic, and there's gonna be an Eastern Conference. I don't even want to start talking about it because my guy's not gonna play. But I believe there's one guy in the Eastern Conference that's gonna make a real big name for himself next year, who actually played against us in an earlier series.
Oh, who may that be?
My man, P.
Oh, Paulo.
Big P.
I honestly, I thought you were gonna say Cade.
I think he has a chance, but he's slightly more Halliburton than LaMelo. Like he can give you 30, but he's more likely to give you 18 and 12 and 8 rebounds and have some big stops. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Paulo's trying to give you 30, 35 on a nightly basis. And just the way the NBA and the way the media and the fans are, they love scoring. And so that's the same thing when we had a conversation about who's going to be the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I really love what Halliburton does for the team, but it's possible that Pascal Siakam can have 2 or 3 30-point games and win it because that's how the media reacts to the scoring. They're not going to put emphasis on Halliburton having a mean double-double with a couple steals. They're going to emphasize Pascal Siakam scoring 30, 32 points.
Yeah, and so when you mentioned something about SGA's game, he plays with pace. That's probably my favorite part about his game. That's why, honestly, I like Luka so much, is because he plays at his own pace. His change of speed. Now, Luka, when you look at him, right? If he wasn't 6'7", if you walked into a LA Fitness, be like, oh, my guy, you wouldn't think he plays in the NBA, right? If you looked at him. But when you watch him play the game of basketball and you watch the way he controls the game, I mean, that's why I love Chris Paul so much. He controls the game. He has so much control over the game. Okay, first 3 quarters, I'm going to get Devin Booker involved. I'm going to get SGA involved. I'm going to get James Harden involved. I'm going to get Blake Griffin involved. I'm going to get all these guys involved. Now, 4th quarter down the stretch, my turn. Now, that's Chris Paul. SGA is that guy for all 4 quarters. Yes, he can get his teammates involved. He had 9 assists last night, but he can score the basketball at will whenever he pleases. And so when you look at him, when you look at Luka, again, that's another guy who can go score the basketball at will. And if you double team him, if you trap him, that's where he's going to get 11, 12, 13, 14 assists. That's my favorite part about those guys' games, man. You don't have to be De'Aaron Fox and run or John Wall or Russell Westbrook and just immediately go 100 miles an hour. You can control the pace. You can go to 0. Then you could go to 100. Then you can slow back down to 30. And then you could go back to 70. Like you control the pace, that you control the game with that. And so that's maybe my favorite part about SGA's game. Now, Tone, I was wondering about him. You didn't mention him. Now obviously he's got some trade rumors, but you did not mention Giannis. You don't think Giannis is still going to be in that conversation? Because if you ask me, Giannis is the best player in the East right now as we speak. And so when you bring up guys like Paulo, when you bring up guys like, obviously, I hope he gets well soon. Jason Tatum, when you bring up guys like Joel Embiid when he's healthy, like it's tough to forget about some of these other guys.
No, I'd have to say I do think Giannis has got another 2 or 3 years to fight for MVP. So I'd have to apologize to the dog. It will be interesting if he stays in the East. I think that'd be odd for the Bucks to do. But then again, they're not going to really contend. So it's not really like they're trading him to somebody who's going to be in their way. Like they're obviously going to be in a rebuilding stage. But I did hear that he was in a staying at a California hotel last weekend. So who knows? He might have been meeting with somebody out there. Yeah, it was heavy videos posted on Twitter of him and his family out close to where Golden State is.
I don't know how much they have to give up, but you know who would be sneaky good if they were able to get Giannis? The team next door to the Los Angeles Lakers.
The Clippers.
I think if the Clippers were able to get Giannis and pair him with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Now, again, I don't know what you'd have to give up, and I don't know if they have the assets to give up for him. But if you were to pair him with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, and I don't really want to say anybody else because I don't know what else you'd have to give up. You might have to give up a Norman Powell. You might have to give up a Derrick Jones Jr.
They know Mike. They're gonna have to give up a whole lot to get Giannis.
To get Giannis.
I honestly don't see them getting that level of a star. I will say, man, I think as soon as these playoffs are over, I know we're speaking a little earlier, there's going to be a lot of action this summer. I wouldn't be surprised if Sacramento made a couple moves. I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy Butler's not at a Golden State Warrior next year.
Really? He just signed that extension.
I know. I would not be surprised.
Interesting. Okay.
Of course, your boy KD. I think that the Boston Celtics are going to make a move or two. Who else? Who else do I think is going to make a move? Big name, big team. Oh, I really think that the San Antonio Spurs should go after Giannis. Like if I was any team, if I'm the Spurs, I'm going after Giannis.
They have
have two generational
Tone, and they got one of like they got so many. Tone, not Tone. D-Lo, come with this Miami stuff. He's not going to Miami. He's just not. I don't know if anybody's going to Miami, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but, I'd say this about Miami right now is they have bad locker room aura.
Yeah,
I don't think that
it's very divided.
What'd you say?
It's very divided. I think the locker room is very divided.
That's been heard about, through the media outlets. Just I don't think it seems exciting for for a player who wants to contend for a championship. I think they have to make some organizational changes, maybe structure as far as the leadership. But I'd assume Jaime's off of that roster. Likely Scary Terry. Yeah,
he better be. He ain't done nothing for Miami.
I did want to ask you a question though. I seen this on Twitter. My man TA actually said it, and then I seen it a couple times after that. I personally think, and especially after we seen him during the USA games, the little prelim games, I think Cooper Flag has abilities to be a star in the NBA. But do you feel like he's going to be a superstar in the NBA? Some feel as though he's just going to. Some feel that he's going to be an Andre Kirilenko versus a Kevin Durant or LeBron or Paul George even. Some feel as though he's going to be a 3-and-D wing spacer who can attack. But people are like asking, like, what's his bag? Do you see him have crazy ball handle? Does he have a mean midi? Does he shoot a high percentage from three? Is he crazy athletic? Is he catching bodies? And I was like, now that I think about it, no, he's not. But he's still
Tony,
a bucket.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what, Tony? I'm glad you asked this because this has been a conversation, right? When people talk about Cooper Flag, they talk about generational talent, right? This guy is one of the best prospects to come out of the draft since LeBron, since Wimp. Like he's in that same class. That's where the people talk about him. And we did the same thing with Bronny, right? Coming into the league. Now, obviously, Bronny is not on the same level as Cooper Flag. But if but I bring up Bronny is because I did the same thing. I said Bronny, when you talk about him, I think I gave him a comparison for his peak, and I gave him a comparison for his floor. For him, I said Drew Holiday was his peak, right? And I said his floor was out the league. There's nobody. His floor would be out the league, and I thought his peak would be Drew Holiday, who's been a very good player, as you know, who's been a crucial player to championship teams. When I look at Cooper Flagg, and Cooper Flagg, the basketball that he is, the basketball player that he is a two-way guy. He can play defense. He can play on the perimeter, right? He can play defense on the perimeter. He can protect the rim. And so the guy that I think his peak, I think Cooper Flagg's peak is Kawhi Leonard. The way he's been able to put the ball on the floor, get to the basket, shoot that mid-range, shoot the three.
Oh, you might be onto something with that one. That's a great one.
You know, he's a 3-level scorer. Now, obviously, he's going to have to develop against NBA talent. So I think when I look at a guy like Cooper Flagg, I see a peak of Kawhi Leonard. And now, Kawhi Leonard, there's a topic that I want to talk about in the future that I think is very interesting. But another day, another dollar. I think his floor, Tony, is Danilo Gallinari. I think when you look at a guy like Danilo Gallinari, he can score the basketball. He could shoot the three. He can make some plays. He was a very good player for Denver. He played well for the Knicks. Like he was a very good player.
Very good.
He was
role
really
player
good.
before injuries.
But he was never that star, right? He was never the guy anywhere. He was never the franchise player. And so when I talk about a guy like Cooper Flagg, again, a guy who is a lockdown defender. We've seen it in college against the best of the best. And
you can't teach size. What is he, 6'10"?
He's big, man. It's a big dude. And so the way he's able to move, the way he can get to the basket, he could play with his back to the basket, drop step, post fade. Like he can score. He's a 3-level scorer. His 3-pointer has to develop a little bit. He has to get more consistent. But there's a reason why. I said Kawhi Leonard is because Kawhi Leonard, that 3-point shot wasn't there when he first got into the league. It wasn't there. He had to develop that shot, just like he's developed offensively into one of the deadliest mid-range shooters of all time. Dare I say, Tone, of all time?
I just seen Danny Green say that they reorchestrated his, like they fixed his 3-pointer when he, like his second year in the league or something like that. It changed his jump shot. I was like, that's incredible. And for him to have this much success, like, man, I think that's a bullseye. That's like a perfect comparison.
I just when you look at him, right? He's a really good defender, and he doesn't play defense with his hands. He plays with his feet. He can block shots, right? He's the guy that's gonna go guard your best player on the other end.
To a 6'10" Kawhi Leonard.
Oh my God! You're talking about a KD who can play defense.
But
now, obviously, Cooper Flagg is not the offensive player that Kevin Durant is, but
look at that team, dog. The Dallas Mavericks is scary, dog. They got a chance. The West is gonna be nasty next year. I feel bad for you, brother.
Yeah, can I get some sorrow this way? Like, just when you, oh my, just everybody. Like, of course. No, Philly couldn't get the first pick. No. Philly couldn't get the first. No, it had to go to Dallas, who not only just traded away one of the best players in basketball, the same player in which took them to the NBA Finals. But when I
don't want to start a mean conversation, but I was having a conversation with somebody else, and I said, let me ask you, if Anthony Edwards were to lose this series, right, and then be traded in the offseason, is that not a stain on his legacy?
I don't think it's a stain.
If Anthony Edwards didn't have a successful playoff and his team traded him away, you don't think that's a stain on his legacy for a top 5 franchise player, for a franchise to look at him and go, yeah, I'm sorry, we don't this is not a player that we're looking at as like top 30, top 20 that actually then takes a leap to become top 5. No, Anthony Edwards is top 5, maybe top 7 right now. And to trade him, you don't think that's a stain on his legacy?
Well, let me ask you this. For a I so this is two-part question. With Luka, right now, do you think this is staying on his legacy that the Mavericks trade him?
Yes, that's literally the reason why I asked the question.
If he goes and wins 3 championships for the Lakers, is that stain still there?
Of course.
Really? I disagree.
Just because he wins doesn't mean that it is. Let me
Well,
ask you
because
this.
that's the reason why they were trading him.
Real quick. When you and I have a conversation about legacy and quitters, is Michael Jordan a quitter?
No.
Michael Jordan not a quitter. Did he retire? Did he walk away from the NBA? Yeah. Is that not quitting?
Not necessarily quitting.
That is quitting. You had there were a group of men that you had a commitment with that you then walked away from because of whatever you had going on in your life. You didn't have any health issues. You didn't have whatever you had going on. You walked away from them after winning 3 straight championships.
So you're saying that's a stain on Michael Jordan's legacy?
Yeah.
I don't agree.
You don't think that Pippen and them boys felt a certain way when Michael Jordan said, "Yeah, I'm out of here"? You don't think they felt a certain way? The same way that people felt the way when LeBron James said, "Yeah, I'm taking my down to South Beach." There was dudes.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's literally what's a bigger stain? Before real quick, I know we got somebody waiting to come on.
What's a bigger stain? What's
a bigger stain? LeBron going to Miami or Jordan leaving? Because now they both won championships for the team.
I was gonna say
they both made
because
up.
LeBron didn't have any success prior. Michael had success, so to walk away from that is almost weird. Like LeBron walking away is like, yo, if I stay here, I might not win no championships because LeBron's he's gonna take that team to the Eastern Conference Finals or close enough every year, but he's not gonna have a Robin.
Can you also not say LeBron quit on the Cavs?
Yeah, I just said that.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's a stain on this legacy, but
they didn't have success. So like to me, it's different because you're gonna wait for the organization to get rid of you because you're not winning.
They had just gone to the conference finals.
LeBron took a poopity doop team. It wasn't like he had no Pippen over there.
They weren't that poopity doop if they made it to the conference finals. They're not playing
LeBron. LeBron did they have a Pippen? Did LeBron have somebody else to pass the basketball to if he felt like I can't score this bucket?
Mo Williams is here.
Yeah, let's move on to the next conversation. Let's move on. All
right. Real quick, let's get back to, I do just want to spend just a minute or more too, because Tone, I really like that Cooper Flag stuff. I think that's really good. Let's bring in co-host number 2 as he's just getting off work. Look at that working man.
Low.
Look at this guy.
Let me turn it that way. There you go.
Attaboy. D'Lo, how was work?
Hey, my apologies about those Miami comments. Now that you're here.
It's all good, man. It's all good. We suck.
I literally don't apologize for anything I've said.
Yeah, I don't blame you. We suck. We suck.
Yeah. So Lo, you obviously we got our private chat here for the guys for the people on the stream. You said you have a really good. We were talking about Cooper Flag, right? And I brought up and Tony asked the question: do you think Cooper Flag can be a superstar in the NBA? I gave you a peak and I gave you a floor. And D'Lo, you said you had a really good floor for Cooper Flag. So what's your take on that? Do you think Cooper Flag could be a superstar in the NBA?
Yeah, and I actually, when you were talking about it, I like that Kawhi Leonard comparison. I think that's a phenomenal comparison for a peak.
I'm loving all the love I'm getting today, boys. I love appreciate you guys.
Yeah, but when you mentioned Gallo, it made me think of that era, and I think there's a better player that comes to mind. And this is pre-Paul George, by the way. So if you think all the way back, Danny Granger, I think, could be a phenomenal comparison for Cooper Flag in terms of a floor. You talk about 3-level scorers. He was way, like, no disrespect to Gallo because he was great. He's a way better scorer than Gallo. And pre-injury, he was doing it on the defensive end too. So that era, I thought Danny Granger immediately. That's who my mind jumped to as a floor comparison. I think he could be that.
Yeah, I think the floor is very high for Cooper Flag. And so Danny Granger, I like that a lot. And Kevin Kevin had to put his 2 cents in. He says AJ DeBenza is better than Cooper, which he may be. He may be. Offensively, AJ DeBenza is very, very skilled offensively. But
And he'll go
defensively,
number
Cooper Flag.
2. You put him next to Wemby at San Antonio. That could be also very scary.
No. AJ DeBenza comes out next year.
He's not in the draft this year?
No, he just graduated high school.
I forgot they have that stupid high school rule.
He'll be in Utah.
Yeah, he'll be. Oh boy, hey, you see what Jeff Teague said? Jeff Teague said. Tone, I know you seen it. Hey,
They've been talking about lifting that though.
Huh? Oh, they can. Oh, I don't think they should, but that might be a conversation for another day. But so, hey, when you look at Jeff Teague, he said, yeah, send him to BYU. Send him to BYU. Because at BYU, you can't get busy, which gives you one thing to lock in on, one thing and one thing only. I guess 2 things. I get, you slide education in there, but you know how athletics work. One thing and one thing to work only basketball. And so when you look at AJ DeBenza and you look at where he's going, and he's going to a pro head coach and Kevin Young at BYU. Kevin Young is obviously he was a part of that Sun staff when they went to the finals. He's going to a pro system. And so I think he's gonna fit in like a glove. I think AJ DeBenza is gonna do his thing at BYU, and I think that is going to be a very dangerous team to look out for. They actually make their season debut against U of A, who went out and got a bunch of. I mean, they got Koa Pete, they got Bryce James, and they got Braden Berry. They got a whole bunch of guys.
How dare you say Bryce's name second?
Hey,
you talking about? I'm sorry. Hey, I don't give a damn about Bryce. I'm the local kids go first. Cole Pete is local.
He's local.
He's
we covered his game. We were at his game.
D'Lo and I covered his game. We got to talk to him after the game. Yeah, Cole Pete, our dogs. Like, you got to go first, man. He's about to be a problem, Tone. He's about to be a problem.
He's from that same school, from that man Purdy. Just got paid. You know what I mean?
Also,
same
Kevin,
school.
Shout out to local hoopers, man. Shout out to local hoopers, man. It's dope. It's dope when guys can go from the town to the league.
All righty.
This is nonsense. This is nonsense. There is nobody I'm saying could be Kevin Durant until I see it. Kevin Durant is the most skilled player to play this game of basketball I've ever seen. I have said it once, and I will say it again. And I will
him finish under the rim like Kyrie. Boy, you being disrespectful.
Kyrie's number 2 for sure.
Kyrie number 1.
When you're 7 foot, dribbling like a guard, and pulling from 35.
He don't dribble like KD, though. Don't do. I mean, like KD don't dribble like Kyrie. Don't do that.
Don't nobody dribble like Kyrie. Literally, nobody dribble like Kyrie.
So then you got to have a whole nother circle, because when you saying guard, you saying like he's dribbling like the best guards.
No. I'm talking about
he ain't dribbling like Darius Garland.
But these are the top tier. He dribbled in a lot of guards. Dribbled better than a lot of guards.
Yeah, he got more. He got more handles than Derek White.
And when you talk about influential players and the Mount Rushmore of influential players, Kevin Durant is on there.
Is
he?
He
absolutely is.
I don't.
He absolutely is.
I don't think so.
Let's not do this.
I don't think
absolutely.
So.
You didn't see 7-footers. You did not see 7-footers shooting threes the way that KD is until KD got into the league. And when you talk about who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite player? LeBron? Kevin Durant gets a whole lot of love.
Well, that's because
when you talk about influential,
because people always like back in the day, MJ created this whole hatred thing. For anybody who's second or up and coming, they're not going to select them. They're going to go for the person who's trying to take their spot. So
I was
LeBron
gonna say
couldn't. Yeah, he was the villain.
when you talk
But
Mount
I
Rushmore,
also,
there's four guys. Listen, it's
no.
MJ, it's MJ, it's Kobe, it's Allen Iverson, and it's Steph Curry. Those are the four.
In terms of influential.
Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm first of all, I'm
you
glad
ain't
you
see
didn't
that
put
little
LeBron on there.
kid with the fake tattoos
Yeah,
and
you
the
ain't see
sweatband
white
and the
kids
wristbands.
getting cornrows because of Allen Iverson.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's
That was
fair. I
because
just
of AI. So who
as
are you
long
taking
as
off of that list? I gotta know.
okay. Oh, okay. This again. This is. I'm glad Kevin's not on the show today. I'm glad because he said, okay, when the four guys again. It's hard to argue your list in terms of the most influential
Did you
players of all
say
time.
Kyrie?
D'Lo.
Man,
But
delete him from the chat.
Kevin took
Kyrie.
Michael Jordan off the Mount Rushmore and put Kyrie up there.
Nah, MJ got to be on there.
I'm not putting any more of Kevin's comments in. In fact, he might be banned from the podcast.
We gotta have age
It's like when you
appropriate
think about it, though.
conversation.
Like everyone wanted to be like Mike. Like that was the
Everybody.
thing.
He has
Everybody
the
wanted to be
greatest
like
shoe.
Mike.
He has the
Yeah.
greatest shoe, and that might take the cake. He
might
forget
be
the basketball.
number one. Yeah.
He just forget
He's
the basketball.
the reason why people want to win 2-3.
Why do you think LeBron James? Why do you think he wore summer 23? It's not like also he said it before.
He's just like, yeah, I like that number.
There was grown men with full head of hair who was going bald because Mike was bald.
Yeah, no, not having Mike on that list is crazy.
Talk about influential. I don't know. I think
Kobe
guess,
did
it's
it.
hard.
Kobe went bald at like 19.
The only reason why I might replace KD with Kobe is because Kobe is a second coming of Michael Jordan.
There's no way. Hey, so Maul, when you have a piece of trash and you throw it into a trash can, what do you say?
I know you don't say Jordan. I know
you don't say Jordan, and I know you don't say KD. What are you saying?
You better not say Booker, because I'll leave right now. I'm out of here.
Yeah, all right.
You about to do the rest of the pod by yourself.
You asked me what I said. I'm being honest.
I never heard you say that.
Out of 100 people in a room outside of you, what are people saying?
Book from 3, Shazam.
Guess what? They're saying. They're saying Kobe. That's what they're saying. You can't tell me that KD belongs on that list over him.
This my GOAT right here, and I still say Kobe.
I don't. Again, the only reason why I would do it is because Kobe is just a second coming of Booker. I mean, of Jordan.
But think about
we talking influence. We're not talking just like
who had
about
influence
this.
on Jordan. Who had influence on? I mean, who influenced off of Jordan?
Kobe, but that doesn't mean he can't be influenced in his own way.
What did Kobe do? Kobe was really good.
Let me speak to it. Let me speak to it. Let me give y'all some substance to this conversation. So what Kobe did was create a love and appreciation for Jordan for a generation that did not watch Mike. So, like I said on, I think 2 pods ago, we have a pretty big gap in age. You know what I'm saying? I was born in 83.
Damn.
Watch him.
My fault.
Watch him, Mike.
Oh, gee, my fault.
That was
like Mike won them chips, you know, not 90, 91, 91, 92, 93. But primetime Mike's like level of athleticism was captivating. But no one thought that was the best version of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's best version was when he was winning championships. Kobe damn near recreated that for a generation that was incapable of watching Mike. and so it gave y'all an appreciation that you wouldn't have been able to get if Kobe never existed.
With Kobe, here's my argument, right? And you know, we spend a lot of time. I think this is a really good conversation. Here's my last argument about Kobe. With Kobe, we have seen it before. We saw it before. Everything he did, we saw it. The spin fade away, the athleticism. Like we've seen everything Kobe saw. We have never seen a 7-footer pull from 35 and dribble like he's 6'3" and score the way that Kevin Durant can score to get to his spot. We've never seen that from Kevin Durant. Like I said, from Kobe, we saw it. We saw it. It was just the second coming of Michael Jordan. With Kevin Durant, we have never seen this before from a person of his size, his stature, and the way that he scores the basketball. Again, Kevin Durant, in my opinion, is the most skilled basketball player to ever play the sport, to ever touch the basketball. But when you look at it, Kevin Durant is doing something we have never seen before. When you talk about 7-footers playing like a guard. And because, again, you didn't see that. You didn't see. Now, there was Dirk, but Dirk couldn't handle the ball like KD. Now, he could shoot. He could shoot like a mug.
Kevin Garnett.
But he's also not nearly as good as a shooter as Kevin Durant is.
Kevin Garnett.
Stop it. He cannot handle the ball like KD. He cannot handle the ball like Kevin Durant. He cannot shoot the three like Kevin Durant. He can't shoot from as far away as Kevin Durant.
He used to take a step. He was literally shooting like one step in the three. I think he could have shot the three if he wanted to. It's just the NBA was different.
But KD also played like, yes, he wasn't drafted in 2000 or 299 or whenever KD was drafted. He was drafted in that same sort of era though. Towards the end of it. There's
a difference.
Yes, towards the end of it. Towards the end of that era, but it was still the last parts of that era.
Because when did he get drafted? He was 08, right?
There's a level of dog in. It's the same argument that someone make about Jordan. Jordan played older Isaiah, old Mike, old Magic. When they were in their primes, Mike wasn't winning. As soon as they got a little older, Mike was busting chops. When Mike got old, certain dudes was busting his chops. It just happens that way. But KD, when he came in the league about 4 years in, some of them dudes was a little bit older. But KD's a problem. KD was getting buckets. He was 30s in college, 30s and 40s in college.
Like, I don't think you understand when we're talking about one of the greatest players of all time, one of the two greatest players to ever play this game. Now, whether you have Michael Jordan 1 or LeBron 1, we can have a conversation. If you have either one of those two outside of the top two, I'm not having a conversation with you, point blank, period. But when you look at Kevin Durant and the way that he went up against LeBron James, in my opinion, the second greatest player to ever touch a basketball. When you look at what he did, I mean, he outplayed him. He outplayed him in the finals. I'm not talking about when Kevin Durant was in Golden State. I'm talking about when Kevin Durant was in Oklahoma City. Kevin Durant completely outplayed LeBron. Completely. He just didn't have any help. Russell Westbrook was not good in that series. James Harden was not good in that series. Kevin Durant completely outplayed LeBron. He was very good. But when you look at the stats, KD averaged more points than him. He shot better from the field. And he shot better from three.
Played better offensively. That's because he's a better scorer.
Who do you think was guarding him?
Who do you think was guarding LeBron?
Again, when you look at their one-on-one matchup going against each other,
KD wasn't guarding LeBron.
Who was guarding LeBron?
Cephalosha. That's the difference. Who was guarding
Wade?
Huh?
Who was guarding Dwayne Wade?
At parts, James Farton.
James Farton came off the bench.
Yeah, real quick. He was still playing like 40 minutes, 35, 36 minutes off the bench.
I was gonna say that's sixth man of the year, James Harden.
Yeah, but
wasn't like he was playing 18 minutes.
That's my argument though. That's my with Kobe. Yes, he was Michael Jordan for the kids of the 2000s era. I am not taking that away from him. It's because he was the Michael Jordan of that era. He wasn't the Kobe, like he wasn't the Kobe Bryant. Like Kobe Bryant was the Michael Jordan of the 2000s. And so with Kevin Durant, you can't compare his game to literally anybody else that has ever played the game. There is
we
never
started
anybody
this.
who's done what Kevin Durant does.
We started this about influential. It wasn't about skilled. We moved on from skilled. And as far as influential,
no.
you have to add in the sneakers. You have to add in the other things that Kobe brought to the game, which Kevin Durant wasn't capable of. Again, Kobe literally mimicked Mike, and he recreated the passion, the love that my generation had for Mike. He created that for the younger generation.
Okay, but if you're bringing up sneakers, if you go to a basketball court right now, would you see more people with KDs on or Allen Iversons?
KD.
Again. So that's what I'm saying. When you add it all up, because AI,
kids don't even know who AI is now. So you can't compare. You can't even have that conversation.
But Tony, I'm not talking about kids. I'm not, like the kids. We're not having a conversation with kids. We're having a conversation with us who watched, for the most part, these guys. Aside from MJ, live.
Man, if Allen Iverson was on Nike, his sneakers would be a whole nother. He was on Reebok.
Like that again,
Nike,
and if he was that influential, no matter what brand he went to, Curry was with Under Armour. Under Armour, for God's sake, everybody knows is not Nike, and kids are still buying his shoes.
Kids no Under Armours neither,
huh?
I don't see nobody wearing no Under Armours either.
I see a lot more Currys than I do AIs.
I see Curry jersey because Steph is playing right now. That's a horrible comparison. That's what I'm
Jordan
saying.
Is not playing anymore.
Nike is pushing Kobe everywhere. They're paying for billboards. They're paying for the Nike check to be on the Olympic jerseys. Reebok doesn't have that right now. And so
are AI still available to buy?
Yes. Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson are now the president and vice president of Reebok. Matter of fact, Angel Reese is an ambassador of the Allen Iverson brand. Allen Iverson has a lifetime contract with Reebok.
Again, so they're available to buy. So people have the choice to buy them. They just don't. Now, I'm not saying Allen Iverson shouldn't. Hold on. I'm not saying Allen Iverson shouldn't be on this list. I'm just saying, if we're going to compare other things, KD shoes are much more popular than AI. So I don't want to, that argument should not be used.
Compare him to AI. You got to compare him to like somebody who is actually more relevant right now in playing the game.
I'm just saying, in terms of we're talking about the Mount Rushmore of most influential basketball players. So that's who I'm comparing him to. I'm comparing him to AI. And you brought up his shoes.
This is what AI was known for. The AI had kids with these that didn't look like him. Like it was a different level of an influence. AI was rapping. AI had the jewels. He had different things that were influential versus the sneakers.
I'm not arguing that AI should not be on the Mount Rushmore. He should absolutely be on the Mount Rushmore. My argument is Kobe, because of, again, when you talk about influential, Wemby wouldn't be doing it what he's doing right now if it wasn't for KD. Neither would Kat, neither would Nikola Jokic. They just would not.
Adrianus Sabonis was shooting threes like he didn't have the handles and the quickness that Wemby had, but European basketball players have been playing a different style of basketball than we have for a long time. So, but
again, it's not where it's at right now without Kevin Durant. It's just not.
Sabonis is 20 years older than Kevin Durant.
The thing is, though, is that you're comparing it to like other NBA guys, but when you look at just regular people, I think a lot more people will mimic things that Kobe does rather than what KD does.
Yeah,
and when you talk influential,
where did Kobe get his things? Where did he get the things that he does?
Let me finish. But when you talk influential, I think you have to look at a general population, not just from a basketball standpoint, right? You're looking at shoes, you're looking at jerseys, you're looking at hairstyle, like whatever you want to look at, you have to look at that outside of the sphere of basketball when you talk influential. And when you're talking about that, I think it's Kobe. Like, if you want to have an argument about them on the floor, sure, more power to you. But when you're talking about just a general population and who they will recognize more, I think it's Kobe.
Okay, on and off the court, yes. On and off the court, I have no argument. But in terms of the most influential basketball players,
And again, I brought
who,
that up
like
when you
people who have changed the game, people who have changed the game. When I look at when that's who I'm thinking. People who have changed the game now for better or worse. People who have changed the game. Michael Jordan changed the game. Allen Iverson changed the game. Stephen Curry is at the top of the list in terms of influential basketball players. But when you talk about Kobe and you put him on the same list as Michael Jordan, he is, like you guys have mentioned, a mirror image of Michael Jordan in terms of what he did on the basketball court. And so that is something we have seen before. I'm talking about Kevin Durant, something we have not seen before. Yes, you saw Sabonis. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Sabonis shooting threes, right? But he shot what, less than one a game? When you look at guys like Kevin Durant, who are 7 feet tall, that's 6'9", 6'10 BS, I don't believe it. 7 feet tall, dribbling like he's 6'4". Again, you think coaches are looking at Wemby. If Kevin Durant was never a thing, do you think coaches, even in Europe, are looking at Wemby and said, "What are you doing dribbling that ball? Get your ass down on the paint and go get a bucket. What are you doing shooting from 35 feet?" They are not allowing that without Kevin Durant, because they saw Kevin Durant can do it. Now, again, Kevin Durant is an extreme example, but you see Kevin Durant do it, and you see his size and stature. Guys like that in the 80s and 90s. Now, I'm not playing a joke when I say this. Tone, the bigs in the 80s and 90s, the Patrick Ewings, the Dennis Rodmans, the Charles Barkleys, the Hakeem Olajuwons, they are not shooting and dribbling the way that Kevin Durant is until Kevin Durant actually came into the league and showed everybody that he could do it. Now, that's why I believe Kevin Durant is more influential in terms of on the basketball court than Kobe Bryant is. Because we saw Kobe do it already. His name was Michael Jordan, and he got everything from Michael Jordan. And Kevin Durant is something we have never seen before.
I think if you want to talk that, though, you could throw Magic Johnson in that convo. Like, if you're talking on a basketball court, did Magic Johnson not start this whole wave of 6'9" guys dribbling and playmaking, like being point forwards? Did Magic Johnson not start that?
But we haven't seen that as much. Like, you've seen a few guys, like you saw Ben Simmons, who was really good at it.
Cunningham.
But he's not 6'9", 6'10". He's 6'4".
Cade Cunningham? He's
6'6".
Cade Cunningham is like 6'6", but like
you're
seeing these taller, you're seeing like these taller
6'7".
guards.
6'6" and above. Those are big point guards. That's a big point guard.
Aside from Magic Johnson, who was an outlier because of how amazing he was, what other guards in the 90s that were 6'7", 6'8", that were playing the guard position? If you were 6'7", 6'8", you are a 2 or a 3. Charles Barkley was 6'4", playing the 4.
Then why can't you throw Magic in that convo? That's what that's what the only point I brought up. Like,
because you didn't see the impact as fast as you saw KD's impact. KD came into the league
with KD it's not really KD's impact. All KD did was be 7 feet. He looked at Kobe and wanted to do what Kobe did because he didn't get to see Mike the way I saw Mike. He watched Kobe.
Did we just say we didn't see the impact the moment he came in the league?
No. I didn't say it wasn't as fast as Kevin Durant's was. Kevin Durant came into the league at 6'10", and almost immediately, as he was developing in the league, he's 6'10" and dribbling like that. He's bringing the ball up the floor and going one-on-one with guys from the perimeter.
Saying about that.
There's nobody that we're like saying is doing what KD does. There's
nobody ever that's done KD does.
And so then I don't feel like Wemby's influence is because of Kevin Durant. His influence is European influence. He's just a 7 foot shooter. He's European. He has a European game style. Kevin Durant is much more aggressive. He comes from Baltimore, so he's got the handles, he got the bounce. That's how they play in B more. he's just a kid from the neighborhood who happened to be 6'10", 6'11". But he plays like a faster Kevin Garnett. If you watch Kevin Garnett on the Timberwolves, that KD reminds you the way he does this and steps right into the dribble. It looks like KG.
But he wasn't the 3-level scorer that KD is.
KG literally was taking one step. You got to go watch KG. He was taking one step inside of the three-pointer because that wasn't the play style then. But if KG was taking one step back, that's coaching. That's the emphasis. That's honestly that's Steph Curry. Steph Curry changed the game to brought that up.
I'm glad you brought that up because that wasn't the play style when KG was in Minnesota, right? Because he was 6'10". He was a bit. No. Hold on. That's to your point. You said he was taking one step in because that was the way that they played. That was the way that they play. If you're 6'9", 6'10", why are you shooting threes? He took a step in.
It didn't matter your height.
Hold on. He took a step in because, like you just said, I didn't say it. Like you just said, coaching. That's what coaches coach the guys to do. Now,
Michael Jordan,
when you see this 6'10", 6'11" guy come in and shooting threes, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps behind the 3-point line, who do you think influenced that?
Reggie Miller.
He wasn't shooting that deep to start his career, though.
Reggie Miller. No, I'm just saying that people became fascinated with the 3-point shot, though, because Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, there were plenty of guys who were capable of shooting the three that didn't shoot the three to that level. The game when Ray Allen, when Reggie Miller, Mitch Richmond, Dan Marley, those guys they kind of heavily influenced Del Curry. They kind of influenced, and then Steph Curry took it to a whole other level.
All guards. Everybody who just named was a guard. Everybody who just named was a guard because they had that luxury. That's what the coaches said. If anybody's going to take a 3-pointer, I want the guards to do it because they can handle the ball and get to their spot.
Yeah, great. I was just about to say there's a Celtic that won the 3-point contest multiple times and actually shot a perfect game and did this on his way out. So, like, again, there's a reason why Kevin Durant did it, and it's because he was influenced by the person that we're putting on the Mount Rushmore, and it is Kobe Bryant. He did not watch Michael Jordan the way that I watched Michael Jordan because he wasn't old enough, and so his level of appreciation came from Kobe Bryant, the Mamba mentality, which is Michael Jordan's mentality. He was influenced by the person that you're trying to surpass. He was influenced by.
Wholeheartedly disagree.
He says it. How are you gonna disagree with him? And he says it.
I wholeheartedly disagree with that point because again, like Kobe was a guard. He was 6'5", 6'6", and he had the ability. That's what he was coached to do. When you look at the bigs who are shooting threes today and trying to handle the ball, the Joel Embiids, the Cats.
And you think they were all influenced by Kevin Durant?
I'm not saying I don't think they were that is just where he brought the game to. That is where he brought the game to. Kevin, no. Okay, Tony, answer this question. Okay, answer this question. 30 years ago, 1987. If KD goes into the league, if KD is drafted into the league in 1987, are the coaches telling him, "Oh yeah, go out and shoot the three from"? Are they telling him put some muscle on, get big, get strong, and go into the paint?
No, he's going to shoot middies. You think there were players that were close to Kevin Durant's size back in the
the same thing. Now, Shaq was not skilled on the perimeter, but what do you think they told Shaq to do? He was skinny coming into the league. He was skinny. Was he okay? I'm not comparing him to a regular person, Tony. I'm comparing himself to himself. Was he much skinnier in Orlando than he was in LA?
Yeah, but he was still bigger than.
So he was told to go bulk up because that was the play style.
He just ate bad food. He wasn't told to bulk up. No one told Shaq to gain weight. Shaq had bad eating habits. That's the main reason why Kobe Bryant wanted him off the team.
Was he the better player in LA or in Orlando?
I think it's hard to tell.
And
they almost won a championship in Orlando.
Where did they win a championship?
In LA when he had Kobe Bryant.
Who's the finals MVP all 3 times? Who?
Shaquille O'Neal.
So when I asked was he better in LA or Orlando, it's not even a question. But when you look at him now, whether somebody told him to or not, he was the better player in LA. In LA, he was a lot bigger than he was in Orlando, which made him the better player. That's the play style he was. That's the play style that they played. The bigs played. Patrick Ewing, again, the guys I named. Hold on, you keep interrupting me. The guys I named: Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon. These guys, Tim Duncan. Yes, he shot the middies, but he never handled the ball. He caught the ball at the back to his basket, and when he got a bucket, he was not pulling from 35 and handling and isoing. That did not become a part of the game for 7-footers until Kevin Durant came into the league. That's what it's been. That's what it was. You did not see Tim Duncan
did it night after night. That's all I'm gonna say.
He caught the ball with his back to the basket.
No, he did not. KG was sitting at the top of the key. It was him and Stephon Marbury.
KG was bringing the ball up. KG was bringing the ball up. Was KG bringing the ball up?
Yes, KG. Did you not watch him against Kobe Bryant in the USA scrimmage, them going back and forth, and KG literally running back 94 feet and crossing Kobe up? They literally have it on film where KG won the one-on-one tournament amongst all of the best players in the USA scrimmage.
All right. I don't understand why it is what it is. I don't understand where this point is coming from. But whatever. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I think it's wrong. That's whatever. If I say anything, it's gonna go on much longer. Whatever. You guys have your point. It is what it is. Again, yeah. I don't want. I want to keep going with this, but we're just gonna go on for 3 hours. I had something else I wanted to talk about, but
you had a topic. Yeah.
That was, I'm going to use that as the final topic. That was draining. Anyways.
Hey, yo, Kev. Bad verbiage.
Yeah. Can you just go out to eat and stay out and just not do a poll? Really, Kevin? That's what we're on. Make a poll. There's make a vote. I just feel like there was more ways to say that. Anyways, now that it's kind of calmed down, I'm still kind of heated, but that's what this.
What happens when you're wrong?
Yeah, well, yeah. D'Lo, that was not that funny. I just want to point that out. That was funny.
It's funny.
You want to take?
It's funny.
Do you want
to
take?
think
You want to take?
do
you want to take Tone's pull out of your mouth and zip his pants up when you're done? Or
wow. We're on a show right now. Come on.
Yeah, it's a good thing about us having our own show.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah, sorry to anybody watching.
If you're a child and watching this show, go to sleep. You got school in the morning. You do enough.
School's
out today.
School's out. Yeah.
Huh?
School's out.
Shout out to Hendrix, man. Shout out Papa. He graduated today, man.
Yeah, I'm so actually. You know what? I'm kind of upset you didn't mention that earlier in the show. I feel like that deserved more love.
It did, but you know,
shout out to Hendrix.
Sometimes keep personal stuff personal, but you know,
nah, that's a big achievement.
It definitely is. He's gonna be a first grader, man.
Man,
proud dad.
I remember when you first took him to kindergarten. Somebody came up to me and was like, "Hey, how's it feel taking your grandson to kindergarten?" And I was like, no, that's his dad. That's his dad.
Ain't no way no kid said that.
No, it's like one of the other moms. One of the other moms.
Well, mom said that. Oh.
Yeah,
Maul look older than me in person. That's the crazy part.
Hmm?
So you look older than me in person. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Wow. I don't have any gray.
And that makes it even worse.
I'm just saying. Listen, I'm getting sexy again too. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, time to go.
Yeah, time to go. What? Get us out of here.
I'm just keeping it $1.50. You know what I'm saying?
This is what happens when my man loses arguments, man. The conversation goes.
I've never lost an argument on this show. Never lost on, and Lynn, yeah, like I said, never lost an argument. Kobe is just, he's like,
We know what he did to your son,
he's
so
like,
we understand how you feel.
hold on. We also gave him problems, so I don't really care about that.
You gave him We gave him what?
Problems. We never beat him in a series.
Here we go. We're
See, there
starting
you
this
go.
back up. We got
There
to
you
get
go.
out of here.
Sneezing out that devil talk.
We got to get out of here.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, damn, you just went from showing love to that was quick. Yeah, man. Be there in a couple weeks, man. Oh God.
42. See,
I'm interested to see what people say, man. I'd love to hear some of the other people that join us on the podcast. Maybe we have a pause. We put out I don't. What is there another way to call that? Yeah, vote. And then have a conversation. Maybe we try to get everybody that comes joins us on the pod and see what they think about that conversation as the most influential players, and then really key in on Kobe versus KD. I think that was a dope conversation.
That was a really good conversation. You know the thing that pissed me off about it the most, though, it wasn't just your guys' just hopeless takes. It was the fact that I had to go and now find a clip to make out of this.
I was gonna say,
wait, what do you mean hopeless takes? Like, mine wasn't a good take. You agreed with my 4. You just argued for another player.
But you're hopeless. Is what that's what I've come to agreement. That's what I've come to.
I'm gonna send you that clip of KG crossing up Kobe and them. I'm gonna send you plenty of clips of KG just doing what KD does essentially, but just shooting one step in. But I do think KD is a prolific player, but it's not like I had never seen some 7-footers shoot the basketball before.
Oh,
he's just a newer version. He's just the upgraded version.
It's not what he does; it's how he does it.
Yeah, basically.
And so Kevin Durant just did it like nobody else before. You saw Kobe do it. His name was Michael Jordan.
Jokic is doing stuff that nobody's done before either. But we've seen Sabonis. We've seen other players basically do it before. It's just a updated version.
Exactly. So we saw Sabonis do it. We've never seen anybody do what KD's doing.
We did though.
No.
Here we go.
I don't think so.
Let's get out of here.
You just weren't born yet. That's why Kobe is so influential for you, because you never seen Mike. You seen Kobe.
I think Jesus Christ was born at the same time you were. So there was no BC before you. It's now BT before Tone. That's the new.
That's crazy.
Thank you all for watching the show. You are amazing. I love you. What else do I say? All right. Yeah. Now I have a headache. Thanks, boys. That is going to be the end of the show. I hope you all enjoyed. I love you all. If nobody else is going to tell you, I'm proud of you. You are amazing. I love you. And
hey, you better get this W tomorrow.
Get who a W? Buster. Nah, he's not good enough. Oh, well, look at that. Thanks, Kev. Thanks, man. Great guy. That's all right. Jalen Brunson finna come back and he's finna get him. All right. I'm sorry. I gotta close it out. I love you. I'm proud of you. And guess what? You woke up this morning, which means God is not done with you. And so I would like to tell you to tell him thank you, but I'm not one of those people. I love you. You are amazing. I'm proud of you. Thank you for watching. And as always,
like, comment, subscribe.
Be important. Like, comment, and subscribe. And it is always nice to be important. That's nice, but it's much more important to be nice. We will see you on Friday. That's all I got.